Well, hi, and thanks for joining me for this episode of Understanding Business. This is UTLRadio.com, your business success and legal information station, and I'm your host, Peter Lamont. Today we're going to be speaking with Luna Vega. She is the host of the Global Influencer Podcast and a digital marketing and e-commerce expert. Now, before we get to Luna and I get to introduce her, I just want to thank today's sponsor. Today's show is sponsored by MyLaunchKits.com. Are you starting a new business and don't know where to begin for your website? Well, check out MyLaunchKits.com. MyLaunchKits.com is your mission control for launching your online business. With reliable hosting, affordable design, and expert customer service, MyLaunchKits.com wants to help you launch your website. From small personal sites to large e-commerce stores, MyLaunchKits.com does it all, and their team of client support specialists are always on hand to answer your questions and help you out. Come experience world-class service and affordable rates with MyLaunchKits.com. Boost your business potential. So, Luna, I'd like to welcome you to the show.
Hi, Peter. Thanks for having me on the show.
Absolutely. Sounds like you are commuting somewhere, huh?
Yeah, the thrills of living in New York City.
So those are authentic subway sounds, right?
No. I'm actually just got out of an appointment who ended up running late. So I'm dodging here inside the building. Figured I would just talk to you here before I go to my next appointment. I was hoping to finish at a better time, but yeah.
Well, you know, that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today, the fact that technology has really changed the business culture and the business world that we live in. I mean, here you are running from appointment to appointment, fitting in an interview, and that's really the way the business world has evolved now, hasn't it?
Yeah, no, most definitely. I mean, I'm talking to you from my cell phone so I mean, it's incredible, the possibilities and the fact that, I mean, it's interesting. It's just enabled us to do so much more and also reach such a wider audience, right, with social media and technology. You really need to be consistent. Consistency is key, and you need to have good quality content. And I think that's where a lot of people get a little scared. They essentially try to come up with content, but they're a little bit they have the overachieving issue, if you will, in the sense that they probably are trying to do too much and then feel burnout and are not able to be consistent. Right. So what I often encourage people to do is maybe try to do less. So instead of doing like 4 blog posts a month, right, perhaps do 2.
The first question that I get quite often is, I'm putting out a ton of content and I'm only getting, a few views on Facebook, a few views on Twitter, and few views on my blog. So what am I doing wrong?
Well, I mean, it's a loaded question. A lot of it has to do with strategy, right? And thinking cohesively as to what you're trying to achieve and having very specific goals, which is something a lot of people don't necessarily have, as far as like email, like how many email are you trying to grab, right? Because you want to make sure that whatever sort of campaign or endeavor you're putting together, you need to make sure that you're just increasing your acquisition. So meaning getting more emails or making sure that people are going on your site, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the first very important step. It's not content for the sake of content. And you also need to be, like I said, really strategic. So the best recommendation is to just really start with an editorial calendar. Just print a blank calendar and give yourself sort of different days as to what you want to accomplish a specific day. So maybe Tuesday, you might want to promote your book, for instance, and on Thursday, you might want to promote a different product.
And I think that the product idea, believe it or not, a lot of people will say, I'm building this brand, I'm building this company, but then they don't make any money because they're not offering anything.
Right.
And it's amazing that people fail to see that the reason you're trying to get people to the site, the reason you're trying to grab email addresses is so that ultimately you can convert them to customers.
Exactly. And so there's a couple things. Like one is people are really shy of emails just because because they feel like there's a lot of spam. And it's true, we are overwhelmed with emails, but you cannot shy away from promoting yourself. And that's another thing that people just feel really guilty about, like self-promotion. So it's really important to be able to have, first of all, like sending a monthly email is a must. And it's okay if you're not going to have a big open rate. And if it's okay if you feel a little bit frustrated with it at first, you have to test different messaging and different subject lines and get a sense as to what your audience engages with, and you will get better over time. But you need to make sure that every time you send an email, you're driving people to purchase.